On this episode of my so-called podcast, we're doing episode 100.
We're doing a 90s retrospective.
Celebrating us.
Us?
Us. So-called podcast episode 100.
Oh my goodness, 100 episodes. Congratulations, Eric. Congratulations.
Yep. We did it.
We did it. We did it.
I'd like to thank our listeners. I'd like to thank my mom.
Your mom. Oh, no, that's right.
Two listeners.
Exactly. Your moms. Hey.
It's episode 100.
We did it. 100 episodes. 3 years? 4 years? Something like that.
April 2014.
Oh, yep.
So we're kissing 4 years
here. A little under 4 years. Little kiss. A kiss for 4 years. You like that 4 years?
Hey, you like that goat? Say I need mother for me.
You gotta get consent. Always get that consent.
True.
Always be selling.
But in 2014, it was a much more innocent time. It was pre-Me Too.
That's right. We didn't know. We wouldn't have started this if the Me Too movement was going on.
Right. That was back when it was just... Rape was just...
It was in.
You didn't talk about it.
And we liked it.
That's back when we had a competent president.
Oh, yeah, I remember those days.
Yeah, it's hard to remember.
It's hard to, yeah. It cuts
really
through
hard.
the fog.
Yeah.
Fog.
I had a different smartphone.
As did I.
You lived in a different house.
Yeah.
But those were the days.
Those were the days.
Where are we going back to this week, Gary?
Meathead. We're going back to all the 90s.
Yeah, we're going back to all 100 episodes. We're going to mine the 90s and the 100 episodes for a best of this podcast.
Normally on this podcast, we take a movie and an album that released the same week.
If you're listening to this podcast for the first time,
yes,
the format don't use this format.
Listen to it.
No. Don't use this format to decide whether or not listen to 101, because 101 is going to go back to the original.
I think we should blow it up.
Just blow it all up.
We're no longer a 90s podcast. We're going to talk about dinosaurs.
No, I think it's going to be a free-form slam poetry podcast.
I'm all for it.
Oh, what? Look over there. Is it Christmas? No. Stop. See you later. Yeah, so tune in 2 weeks for that.
I won't.
Well, you never listen to the podcast.
Listen to the podcast.
So, Gary, we're going back to the whole 90s.
The whole 90s.
And we decided, we usually will do trivia of the year.
Yep.
The year that we are celebrating.
That
visiting,
is our,
reminiscing about. But this week, we couldn't do that.
Well, we could, but we chose not to.
Right. Well, since we're really celebrating us.
Yes. Yeah.
More than we're
this
celebrating.
Is us.
Yeah. Oh, poor Milo.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't watched it.
I don't know either, but I know that.
Yeah.
For some reason. This is us. We're doing trivia about the show. This is us.
Yes.
We're both going to lose. No. What do we do, Gary?
What do we do?
What did we do instead for trivia?
Oh, we came up with some trivia questions about the podcast that we're going to ask each other.
Oh, isn't that cute?
That's totes adorbs.
We're so far up our own asses this episode.
It's pretty stinky.
You want to go first? Do you want me to go first?
Do these count?
I don't think they should.
Yeah, okay.
Because it's not fair.
I had
It's just this episode is just for fun.
It's
not about points
No.
this time. We're I'm celebrating you home, Gary.
Oh, thank you. So I will ask first. My first question I came up with was, who was the first guest we had on?
Paul?
No. That's kind of a trick question. It was Brian and Justin Vaccaro.
Vaccaro. So you had two guests.
Yes.
Oh,
that's a trick question.
Yeah, that's right. That was our first guest.
That were our first guest.
That went really smoothly. In fact, that was a very popular episode.
Yes, it was.
That was the Analyze Fish.
Yeah. Oh, I should have figured that. Episode 10.
Yeah, it was. It was.
Army of Nectar.
Yeah.
Army
Picture of Nectar and Army of Darkness.
Yes.
Fish. So I got that wrong.
Yeah. You got a soundboard? What? Okay.
It was really wrong.
That was, yeah. All right. What do you got for me? What do you have?
Mine's just true or false question.
Oh, okay. Sure.
True or false? Gary was bleeped on the first episode.
I think that is true. Oh, no.
No, it was me.
Okay. I
But that is our one and only bleep.
Yeah, I remember I had to find that, too. I remember having to bleep somebody out.
I think you bleeped out Cap at one point as well.
Oh, maybe you're
Sometimes
right,
it's like, let's not get that dirty.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Maybe no F-bomb.
Yeah. All right, my question for you now is, how many Coen Brothers movies have we discussed on the podcast?
This one I'm going to have to count, so...
Yeah.
3!
That's correct. It's a 3. What'd you come up with?
Barton Fink.
Yes.
Barton Fink. Miller's Crossing
Yep.
and Fargo.
No.
Oh.
We have not discussed Fargo yet.
Oh, really?
No.
Big Lebowski.
No. I don't know if I should count
I
this
said
question.
3, dude. You asked
right,
the
you're
number.
right. Hudsucker Proxy.
Oh, yeah.
Hudsucker
You
Proxy.
sure we haven't done Fargo?
Yeah, we've done Fargo as a best of.
Oh,
discussed a
everybody
lot.
picked Fargo as the best movie
but we
of,
haven't discussed Fargo.
Yeah, 96.
As,
and they were all right.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
We should review that movie.
We should review Fargo.
But I still got it right.
Yeah, asterisks. If they're booing you because you said that.
All right, Gary.
Yeah.
In 2014, Gary thought, "Turn off your
that's me.
phone,
Yeah,
you
I'm
dumbass."
sorry. Lo siento, por favor. Okay.
You gotta take that?
No, I don't.
It's an emergency.
No, it's not.
All right, I'll get back to the program.
Yeah, let's go.
In 2014, what did Gary think was Eric's Twitter handle?
Oh, shoot. I don't remember. T. Eric Spiegel?
That's
Nice.
right.
Yes.
In fact, you were tweeting to whoever T. Eric Spiegel is for a while, and that's why I wasn't getting those.
Oh, was I?
Because I'm the Eric Spiegel.
Yeah, Eric Spiegel.
We figured that out on the first episode.
Did we? Oh, okay.
You
Nice.
tried to talk me into this other Twitter handle that wasn't me. You're like, no, you're T. Eric Spiegel. And I was like, no, Gary.
Oh.
I'm not. And you're like, whoops.
No, I don't think so.
It's written in stone.
It's
Podcast
sometimes I
lore.
say stuff that's not true.
Oh.
So
You'd rather be a liar than be wrong.
Exactly. All right. My final question to you, Eric, is which Beck albums have we discussed on the podcast?
We've discussed Odelay and Midnight Vultures.
That's correct. Nice. Ooh. So you got 1.5 right.
Yeah. Gary, what was the first episode to begin with music?
Ooh, I don't. Are you looking for episode number or?
You can do what it's called.
I don't remember.
You can't look at your phone.
I can't look
trivia.
and see.
You just got disqualified.
All right, that's fine. I wasn't going to get it.
Well, okay, fine. Cheat.
What was it?
But are you going to listen to all of them?
No, I was going to just kind of look back at the first ones and see if I can't guess which one it was. So it's still just going to be a guess. I'm going to go with episode 3, actually. No Need to Clerk. Was that it?
That is correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. The episode 3, can you get to it?
Yeah.
Here you go. Play the beginning of it.
Okay.
If you tuned into episode 3, episodes 1 and 2, actually episode 1's... Oh, sorry. Episode 1 starts with the classic... Oh, that's episode 3.
Yeah, that's Clerks.
From Clerks.
Yeah. We did that wrong, though. We should have done Cranberries to start out with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't fully formed yet.
No, it wasn't.
But it did start with music.
Yeah, you're right.
But my favorite thing about episode 1 is it starts with... This was a bonus trivia question for you, Gary. Mm-hmm. What are the words that start episode 1 of My So-Called Podcast?
I would go with Welcome to My So-Called Podcast.
No, it's you saying, am I doing this?
Nice.
Not edited out.
Yep, good.
Just you going, am I doing this? Okay. Okay. And then you just go, this is My So-Called Podcast. I'm Gary.
Well, that was episode 1, Eric. What do you want from me?
We were getting our sea legs.
Yeah.
Do you remember? So there's a famed Lost episode.
Yep.
Talked about Dead Again.
Yep.
And Pearl Jam's 10.
Yep.
Not in the feed. It was before we called it My So-Called Podcast.
Yeah.
What do we call it?
The mixtape.
It was called the mixtape.
The mixtape.
Is that why we didn't release that one? Or is some other reason?
No, it was because... I think it was because we called it the mixtape, and we just were talking into the microphone of the computer. We didn't even have...
Oh, we didn't even have microphones.
No, yeah.
What does that sound like? Do you still have it somewhere?
I have it somewhere, I think. I'd have to find it.
Dropbox.
Well, no, we had to clear off our Dropbox because it got too full.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're like, you can only have so much for free, and I ain't paying for that sweet, sweet storage.
Yeah. Is that you or the Dropbox people?
Dropbox.
Oh, I didn't know it talked. Is it like Siri? But it's from New Jersey.
Yep. It's like Siri, but it's from New Jersey.
Hey, it's Siri from New Jersey. What do you want?
Exactly.
It's Dropbox. I ain't paying for this shit.
Beep.
Beep. Yeah. So that we could have called it the '90s mixtape.
Yeah. There's plenty of mixtapes. Well, are you unhappy? You want to change the title?
No, I mean we've gotten this far.
We have. Yeah.
Well, that was trivia.
Yeah.
You did well.
I missed one, right? You got you
got
one.
the bleeps wrong. You got 2 and 3 right, so you got 2.
Yeah, you got 2 out of 3 also.
You said 1.5 before.
That's true.
So it didn't matter that we didn't count that because it would have been the same.
Yeah,
So what we like to do to introduce the album part of our podcast usually is to list the albums or the songs that were in the top 10 the week of the album we're talking about.
Oh, yeah.
But this time, we're going to do the top 10 albums of the 90s.
Oh, do you have those?
I do.
Oh, wow. Look at that. Okay. Number 10 was Backstreet Boys. BSB? Is that
self-titled Backstreet
Boys? Okay.
So that's the title of the album.
I got it.
How many copies did that sell?
9.2 copies. No,
Somebody
9.2
snapped off a piece of a CD.
million copies.
Oh, wow, 9.2 million copies.
I got number 9 was I think Chris Gaines. No, Garth Brooks.
Yeah.
Rope in the Wind which you can't do.
That's
Garth.
not possible.
It can't be done.
That's why that was such a big seller. People
Yeah.
are like, how does he rope the wind? It
Right.
doesn't seem possible.
9.3 gajillion.
Yeah.
Gajillion. 8 is Backstreet Boys with the Willennium.
No,
No.
Millennium.
Millennium.
Yeah, so Backstreet Boys, 2 of the top 10.
Yeah, not bad for Backstreet Boys. Where
Yeah.
are they now?
Not as popular.
Okay. So it goes to show no matter how many copies you sell in the 90s.
Even their third album, I don't know much about that one.
No, yeah. I don't remember that one either. Number 7 was the Titanic soundtrack.
Titanic.
Yes. And that was pretty much off of just that one song, too, right?
Well, people wanted that song, but I think it was actually pretty popular. Like, a lot of people
The
like to listen to
score?
the score
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah. Like I
People
wrote
just
that-
wanted a piece of Titanic
Yeah.
there to take home with them.
Yeah, I understand. That was 9.8 million copies.
Wow.
Number 6 was a little band known as Hootie and the Blowfish
Hootie.
with Cracked Rear View Mirror.
Quick rear view.
It wasn't Mirror? I
No,
thought it
Rear
was
View Mirror is a Pearl Jam song.
Oh, maybe that's
It's
it.
called Cracked
Cracked
Rear View.
9.81 million.
Hmm. And you can't find one person that owned it.
No, yeah, exactly.
Except me. I bought it. I liked it.
Is this number 5? Falling Into You by Celine Dion.
Dion.
With 10.2 million copies.
She's Canadian.
So, asterisk doesn't count.
I think Falling Into You might also have My Heart Will Go
Oh,
On
really?
it.
Oh.
So it's like, that's how you have a hit album in the 90s. You put My Heart Will Go On the
Exactly.
album.
I think all the rest of them did have My Heart Will Go On.
Yeah.
These next...
That'd be funny to hear Garth Brooks' version of My Heart Will Go On. Once more, you open the door, and
Door?
I'm roping the wind
can't do that, Garth.
of your heart.
Number 4 was the Bodyguard soundtrack.
Oh, classic.
Yeah.
Classic
Classic?
movie, classic soundtrack.
Yes.
Everything's good about The Bodyguard.
11.6 million copies.
Yeah, and that's definitely on the strength of one song.
Yeah. Well, no, she had another song on there, though, didn't she?
Yeah, I mean, there was other Whitney Houston songs on there, but it was the most popular
was,
song
yeah,
of the 90s,
yeah.
I think,
That's-
was that,
yeah,
that
possible,
Dolly
possible,
Parton
possible,
jam.
Possible.
Big.
Number 3 was Metallica's self-titled album, Metallica. Strange.
Does that have Enter Sandman?
I thought that was called like the Black Album.
Well, maybe it's called Metallica, but
Oh,
it's got a
you're
black
right,
cover.
You're right. Yeah, maybe that's.
So you don't know much about Metallica,
I
do
don't
you?
know.
Neither do I.
Yep.
I think maybe we should do a Metallica episode.
It was the number 3 most popular album in the 90s with 11.7 million copies. Number 2 was Mark's daughter, Shania Twain, with Come On Over.
Wow. Either he lived a long
Yeah,
time,
he did.
or she is
You
much
can-
older than she
you
appears
can-
to be.
You know, you can have babies. Men can have babies long into their age.
What?
What?
Men cannot have babies.
They can.
I keep telling you that movie Junior is not a documentary.
No, it happened. I'm telling you.
He became the governor, but he did not get pregnant.
Oh man!
You keep trying to tell me it's the other way around.
No, exactly. He was pregnant, not the governor.
Actually, I feel like Arnold Schwarzenegger getting pregnant should have been less likely than him becoming the governor, but what are you going to do?
What are you gonna do? 12.1
Are you
million.
shocked, as I am, that Shania's up that high on the top 10 of the 90s?
Yeah, that is a little shocking. I knew that was a popular album. She had like
I know she had the
3.
You're still the one I look for. You're still the one
You Make
I
Me
love.
no.
Damn, I feel
Yeah,
like a
that's it,
woman.
that's it.
Damn, 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 damn,
And then I think there was a third song on that album.
Come on over. Come on over. That's Christina Aguilera.
Oh, okay.
But there is Come On Over. Isn't that what the name of the album is?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. We don't know anything about her.
No,
either.
we don't know. Nope.
I don't think Whose Bed Have Your Boots Been Under on.
Yeah.
I don't think that one's on that one.
Okay.
I think that's on the previous Shania. Although, I mean, I wasn't aware of country music, but I was aware of Shania Twain.
Well, yeah,
I'll put it that way.
She was crossover hit, so that's how you get to 12.1 million.
But not cross fully over. Do you think?
She crossed over?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Just like Kylo Ren.
Just like yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Shania Twain's a lot like Kylo Ren,
except for she isn't shirtless as much as he is,
which is a shame.
Sadly,
yeah. And number one, Alanis Morissette's "Jagged Little Pill."
Wow,
13.5 million.
Wow,
that's a wow. Yeah, that's the.
I thought that was surprising.
That is surprising.
That's the number one.
Most sold album in the 90s.
I think that must have the alternative people thought she was theirs, and the pop music people thought she was theirs.
And all these women were buying music.
Stay in the kitchen.
Exactly. Look, yeah, because they put the number 1 and 2 album, Alanis Morissette and Shania Twain, where us guys, we had Metallica.
Yeah. How does Inner Sandman go? To never, Neverland.
Yeah. Come on, go ahead and Inner Sandman.
Into Sandman.
Right.
That's how that goes.
That's how it goes.
That's how it goes on a Metallica album.
Well, all right. Those were the top albums.
Well, Gary, now we would usually talk about an album from a week that the movie came out, that the album came out, that we're talking
Eric,
about.
We can't do that this week.
But that's our shtick.
Oh, yeah. So what are we going to do?
What the hell are we going to do?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I do know. We have some categories that we came up pre-made,
yeah, we're
pre-planned.
Do a bunch of homework on this episode.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, it's the first time you prepared for the podcast. I mean, it's been 100 episodes, so I feel like maybe you should do some homework.
I didn't get in on this to do homework, Eric.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You sound like my son. Okay. What we decided to do was come up with some album categories, and we always, first of all, we were going to have some categories, some podcast-specific categories, and we'll get into those in a second. But we always introduce the album with an either-or.
Oh, right. Yep.
And
yep.
This was hard because I had to come up with an either-or about an album we're not talking about that's about the podcast.
Yeah. Oh.
That's.
I kind of just did one about the 90s.
That's fine. Okay. I mean, it's fine.
Okay.
Gary.
Okay.
It's fine. I tried to go podcast specific. Gary.
Yes.
We had a friend of the show, Greg Linton, on.
Yes.
For an episode about Liz Phair and Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Oh, yeah.
The episode Whip Cop.
Whip Cop.
You want to pull that up so everybody can hear a little bit about what that sounded like?
I can.
Whip Cop is famous in my so-called podcast lore for being the episode that forced us to get headphones. Because we were recording, but we couldn't hear what it was sounding like.
Yeah.
And so it sounded really, really bad.
You're right. Greg's also the...
Is it in double speed?
Oh, yeah, it is.
That wasn't the problem.
No, that wasn't the problem.
But...
my so-called podcast, we take the director of Time Cop.
It doesn't sound that bad.
Peter Hines.
Greg and I don't sound that bad.
It's me.
It's you that sound
Okay, get to me.
I don't know. And by the way, the Facebook account is a lot more active. It is. Then okay, thanks.
I also had used my regular Facebook account mostly to talk about this podcast and Cardinal baseball.
Okay, good. Yeah, that's true. less true now.
Yeah.
I mostly don't talk about anything on Facebook. Yeah, but I wobbled with a knob. One of the knobs on my microphone that I didn't know what it did. Gain.
Right. Gain.
And
Chris Gaines.
No, but yeah, Chris Gaines. It was a Chris Gaines knob on my microphone. When I turn it to one side, I grow a goatee, and my hair gets longer in my eyes.
Yeah.
And I get moody. And then I turn it back the other way, and my cowboy hat appears, and I'm wearing like a striped long sleeve button up.
It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's a neat knob. That's why I was playing with it. But anyway, the next episode we both had headphones.
Yep.
And we could hear what we sounded like.
Yeah.
So you're welcome, listeners.
Yes.
Anyway, so Whip Cop.
Yep.
Like a good Eric Spiegel either or. It takes a long time to set up.
No comment.
Okay, Gary,
Yeah.
you're on a desert island.
Yes.
You have an iPod
Okay.
with one thing on it.
Okay.
And you have to listen to that thing 100 times
Oh my goodness.
in a row,
Yeah.
and then you'll be rescued. But not until you listen to that thing 100 times.
Okay.
Either you listen to the Whip Cop episode with the terrible My Voice
Yeah.
thing,
Yeah.
or something that we reviewed for the podcast, Marilyn Manson's "Smells Like Children."
Yeah, right. Oh, that one was pretty bad. I'm gonna, I guess I'm gonna go listen to. I don't like listening to the podcast though.
Yeah, I could have just picked any episode, like a really long episode of this
I'm
podcast.
like, oh man. I probably would be able to get by with the podcast. you know?
100
It's not
times
so
in
bad.
a row.
Yeah,
You get to the
Yeah.
point where you could just say it along with.
that's true.
That'd be creepy.
I mean, like back to back, or it's like if I'm on this desert island and I'm like, I can maybe stay a week.
Yeah.
And listen to it 100 times.
So you're saying you would like learn to spearfish and stuff a la Castaway?
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Probably get
that's
hungry.
true. I would get hungry. You're right. And I have no fresh water.
Well, 200 hours is hitting 8 days ish.
Oh, okay.
So
So yeah.
you maybe would want to pick the shorter of the two.
Yeah, that's true.
This is too thinky.
It
You
is.
just
You're
gotta
right,
go
you're
with
right.
your gut.
Yeah, I would go with the album.
Talk
I don't
you
know
into it.
how long that podcast was.
Pretty long, I'm sure.
You're right. Yeah, an hour and a half.
Because we weren't listening to ourselves.
Nope.
So, so good. That's the either or. So now
Nice.
we're in album land.
Okay.
We're going to spend another 45 minutes talking about Smells Like Children.
Oh man,
Smells like children.
I don't even remember that
It's got the sweet dreams
Yeah,
made
yeah.
of that.
one. That's right.
Barf.
Oh, yeah, that was a bad album.
I bet it's
remember
short,
that.
though. It's probably like 35 minutes.
Probably, yeah, because it was some B-sides and stuff like that too.
It's just, he was just filling it out.
Yep. All right. So what do we got? Our categories. Smells like. Oh yeah.
Well, we tend to agree, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Yeah, about what's quality,
Yeah.
what's not quality,
I think so.
and what's trash and what's not trash.
Yeah.
But for the album segment, we're going to start off with the album that you think I got most wrong.
Okay.
And then
Yeah.
I'm going to
Say which
counter
album-
that.
Okay.
I'm going to parry your thrust.
Ooh. Well,
As
it's,
it were.
it's getting hot in here. Okay. Yeah. We haven't discussed Nelly yet. Okay. So the album.
I think he's in the aughts, dog.
I think that you got most wrong. I'm gonna go with Fishy.
Wait. Let me do a drum roll.
Oh, okay. Well,
You're not gonna walk. You're not gonna like intro it or anything.
You're
You're not me. I know.
no,
okay,
I'm not
You're
you.
gonna go with.
So this was from episode 10, already discussed when we had our first guest. I remember you really disliking Fish's Picture of Nectar. And I think you were wrong about that. that it was... Oh, yeah. Picture of Nectar. From Phish's album. I remember, I didn't... Picture of Nectar wasn't my favorite Phish album. I would probably have Junta as my favorite, but Picture of Nectar would be my second.
Wait, wasn't there another one you told me that I should listen to?
Billy Breathes is probably one that I may have told you to listen to.
Is
But
there another
Junta
one?
is the best.
Yeah.
So...
You still like...
Oh, no. I'm wrong about that. You're right. What is it? Hoist.
Hoist is the one
their
you wanted
best.
me to listen
yes,
to. Yeah.
Hoist is their best.
See, I remember what you told me to listen to.
Yeah, there you
Sort
go.
of.
So, but Pictures of Nectar is a very good album, and you didn't like it. So.
Well, I know we are probably the first podcast to address this, but you kind of either like Phish or you don't.
Yeah,
it's
that's
hard
true.
to convince
Yeah.
somebody to like Phish.
Well, you know what? I don't know if I would like going to a concert to watch Phish. I'm one of the rare breeds that I'm like, yeah, I like just what they're doing on the CDs. It's okay.
Yeah, and the interesting thing is we had Brian Vaccaro on,
Yeah.
and he likes to see them live for what they do musically.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And
yeah.
he's a rare breed as well.
Exactly.
You're not there going like, wow, look at what they're doing with timing and chords.
Yeah. Other people are not doing that.
Right.
Most
Other people
of them.
are like, wow,
I can
there's
see
so
my
many
hand.
guys in Phish.
But there's only 4.
And they're all me. And I'm on stage, but I'm also in heaven.
That's the Phish experience.
Or it's just
So-
like, oh, I like this song, but I'm also, high.
I know it wasn't part, but I also wanted to say Rage Against the Machine. I remember you not very not liking, and I think I also was a little down on at that time. But I think I'm going to readjust. I would readjust
You're
my
reassessing.
Yeah,
Which one do we...
the first album, Rage Against the Machine, self-titled. So
Okay. Yeah, it didn't work for me.
yeah,
I mean, I'll listen to a Rage song here and there,
Mm-hmm.
but it was rough to listen to an entire Rage Against
yeah,
the Machine
right.
album.
So yeah, I think you
For
were
me.
wrong on both of those.
Okay.
So snap.
Yeah, Eric got it wrong.
Yeah, well.
And this has been Eric Got It Wrong. That's My Heart Will Go On, dude.
Oh, okay. I wasn't getting that.
It's the song of the 90s.
Song of the 90s.
Song of the South.
Song. Very hard to see.
Sure is. Super racist.
Yeah, well, not super racist, but, a little racist.
Oh, pretty racist.
Okay. Now you're going to say which ones I got wrong.
Gary,
Yes.
you got an album wrong.
Yeah, well, I'm sure
You got
I
an
did.
album dead wrong.
Oh.
You got an album so wrong, it made me a little upset on the podcast.
Okay.
And that was Peter Gabriel's Us.
Oh, right. Yeah,
Not that long
yeah,
ago.
Not that long ago. I remember that
And I
one.
really felt like you didn't really listen to it enough. And all you kept saying is that the songs were long, which means maybe there was a time crunch while you were listening to it.
I was like, go on, get over it, Peter.
And I'm like, this is one of the most important CDs of my
Yes,
90s
yes.
experience. And you were like, but this song is 6 minutes long. And this one is like 5.5. I got stuff to do.
I don't have time to listen to your 5.5-minute song.
And they are long, and it's a bit of a challenging album,
Yep,
but I
yep.
felt like you got that one wrong.
I probably did.
Gary.
I probably did get that one wrong. So,
Yeah, you got it totally wrong.
well, I will admit that I probably do need to listen to it more, and I will listen to it. That
Please do.
I swear to you.
And I will
These
give
5 words,
and
I swear to you.
And I'll give Hoist a try.
Yeah.
I'll
Listen
give
to
Hoist a
Hoist.
try,
Give
yeah.
me Hoist.
You see how we start by tearing each other down, but really, we're friends.
Yeah, we're
That's
good.
what this
we're,
show's
we're,
really
we're
about.
buddies. We're buddies.
We're pals.
We're amigos.
We're the two amigos.
We're compadres.
It's
Yep.
the two amigos.
Eric just did the dance.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's an audio medium, but you can imagine me thrusting my pelvis.
Please
It's
don't.
my signature move.
That's what got him in trouble.
Yeah, but we're not supposed to talk about those years. Sometimes, Gary, we decided we would start this podcast. Maybe take a deep dive into some of the stuff that we used to like.
Oh, yep, yeah.
But also,
that was really what we were gonna do, is kind of revisit stuff.
right? But I also, in my mind, I was like, there's a lot of stuff that I never caught up with, particularly musically. And I was like, maybe I need to jump in.
Yeah.
Get wet.
Yeah. Jump right in?
Jump right in.
Are you going to talk about The Urge? You're talking about The Urge.
Yep.
Yeah.
Talking about The Urge, which we haven't talked about on this podcast.
No.
No, I'm going to jump in the deep end, just listen to some stuff. I have an
right.
excuse
That's right.
to listen.
That's what you wanted.
So there's
I
that,
remember
and
I
there's
remember
also,
talking
like,
about
you know what, we could revisit some stuff
Yep.
that we haven't, and see if younger us was right. So
Right.
it's even in the rating system.
That's right.
Which is well-deserved classic status. It's pretty good.
3 stars is always 3 stars was always gray.
And then
2 stars was,
hey, give it a look.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
And 1 star is we were kids. What do we know?
We didn't know any better.
The 1 star is applicable to this question, this category, which is the album that we revisited that you were most embarrassed that you used to like.
Okay.
Like it's 1 star all the way, but you wouldn't have said that
I see. Yeah,
back in the day. And I'll go first.
Yeah, you go first. What? No, you're good. Go.
Okay. Well, I have some runners up.
Okay.
I really, really liked Rubberneck back in the day.
Yeah.
And revisiting it, I thought I was going to be embarrassed.
Oh, right.
But it actually turned out to be fine. I wasn't actually that embarrassed by that one.
I'm surprised you thought you were going to be embarrassed by it.
Well, I hadn't listened to it for a long time.
Sure.
And it's not like you tell people you like the Toadies and that gives you instant cred.
Yeah, that's true.
But I saw him live recently, and then I went back and listened to Rubberneck, and I was like, it's pretty good still.
Yeah.
But that did not hold up with the album 16 Stone by Bush.
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, you
so
were
that's my second runner-up.
Yeah.
I love 16 Stone.
Oh, that's your second runner-up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, no, my first runner-up.
Right.
Number 2.
But that's not... Okay.
16 Stone, I loved Come Down and Glycerine and Machine Head.
I was never in on any of those.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Well, this is my question.
That's true. Go on.
And I love those. And the other ones I tolerated. Going back, the ones I loved were just barely okay, and the ones that I didn't love were so bad.
Oh, right. Yeah, it's a bad.
Real bad.
Real bad.
Real bad fish. So that was embarrassing. But the most embarrassing revisit for me came very recently.
Oh, okay.
When we re-listened to 311's music.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah.
I mean, I was trying 311 on for size in 1996. I bought music. I listened to it. I made others listen to it in my car, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I made my girlfriend, now wife, listen to it, and I'm sure she was very perplexed. I thought I knew you.
That was, let's say...
I still like Do You Right. I still like that song.
Yep.
But the rest of that album is sort of like, oh, wow, this is so of its time, and it needs to stay there.
You know what? You might have talked me into 311's music. I had, from what we discussed on episode 7, all the way back on episode 7. Everclear's "So Much for the Afterglow" was one I remember liking. And I still will say I like their...
I will buy you a garden.
Exactly. And
where
then
your
Daddy gave me a
flowers
name.
Oh, God, that's
Yeah,
terrible.
yeah.
And then he walked away.
Exactly. And I will still say I like Santa Monica by Everclear, the first
yeah.
song.
Yeah. Their first album's still... It holds up some
Right.
Heroin Girl.
And so that's what I had but I think you reminded me of music, and I'm going to go and bump that as my most...
What, you liked 311 Music back in the day?
I told you I went through a whole, and I was waiting for the new album to come out, the self-titled album. I was like ready for it, and I went and bought it right away, and I was like, oh no, I think I'm over this band. You know? So, exactly.
Chill.
So, yeah.
You didn't think that floating sumo wrestler was cool in that video?
I did not. No.
Wow. The same embarrassing
Yeah,
album.
I
See,
think I'll
we're
go
too
with that.
similar. We need to be more different.
You're right.
We're boring.
Boring.
But then sometimes, Gary, we'll listen to an album we've never listened to before.
Right. Yes.
And we'll get into it.
Yep.
We'll be like, damn, girl!
Yeah. Yeah.
You want to go first on this one?
I can go first on this one. I had chosen, my reaction was not, damn, girl.
It wasn't like when you listen to the first Rihanna album.
No.
Damn!
It was not. I was putting, looking back over the podcast, which we did, I was going to go with the Tragically Hip was a band that I've never listened to before.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed that album.
What was the one that we listened to?
It was episode 85. I wrote that down. It was Day for Night.
Yeah. That was because Scott Reithel was on the show. He grew up in Detroit, and that Canadian band kind of bled down to Detroit a little bit.
Yep.
And so he was aware. And they were huge in Canada.
They were huge.
They were a
Canadian bands.
Just like T-Rex was big in Japan.
Exactly. And we discussed how like 3 of their members are named Gordy.
Yeah. And they mainly play halftime at hockey shows.
Exactly. So
they're like, the hockey game isn't over yet, eh? We're gonna do a concert here, eh?
You guys ready, eh? You guys ready to rock, eh?
Because this concert we're gonna do is gonna be a hat trick of sorts, eh?
So that one is the one I put on there. That's what I was happy to listen to that one. And yeah, I'm going with that.
Okay. I would say for me, Duggins turned us on to Ride, which was shoegaze.
Yep.
So that turned me on to a whole kind of style of music I wasn't really aware of. And
Okay.
I got to learn about that whole culture and everything in Manchester.
Manchester.
Yeah,
well, we listened to Pills, Thrills, and Bellyaches, the Happy Mondays.
Yeah, and the Happy Mondays, I think, would have been... I think I was really hard on that album. If you listen to that podcast. But I listen to those songs a lot now. I put them on mixes and stuff.
Oh,
so
right.
that would have been a category of the one I was most wrong about while I was reviewing it, actually. But I really liked Ride. I knew of Built to Spill.
Oh, yeah.
And I knew some of their music. But then we listened to their album.
But the Plan is on that album. No, this was Matt chose this one, right? Matt Seymour?
Yeah. We listened to one of their albums. You can look it up.
I'm looking it up.
And I had friends who were into Built to Spill, and I think even somebody burned me a CD that I never listened to by Built to Spill, or I didn't give it to a chance. But listening to that for this podcast really made me...
Perfect From Now On, I believe is the one. Or no?
Mm-mm.
Keep It Like a Secret?
Isn't that a song?
No.
Oh, yeah. keep it like whatever the movie was.
Yeah.
Keep it like a secret. Anyway, I really like that album. There's some great songs on there that I really love.
I was in Schnucks the other day, and the Plan was playing over the...
Nice.
Yeah.
That's weird when that happens.
Yep.
Yeah. When something kind of like indie and cool is on a Schnucks.
Yeah.
And then the next song's like Michael Bolton.
Or My Heart Will Go On.
Well, that's always the next song.
Exactly.
But the number one album that the podcast introduced me to is Crooked Rain,
Oh, nice.
by Pavement.
Yeah. And that's not even their best album. Bright in
yeah.
the Corners or...
Well, maybe we should, in honor of this, revisit one of those.
Yeah, definitely.
But I like a lot of the songs on that album, and I always wanted to get into Pavement.
Right.
And that's like such a 90s thing. I always wanted to get into Pavement.
That is very 90s.
And this podcast allowed me to do it, and I really liked that album. I particularly liked Range Life.
Oh, yeah, that's a great song.
It's a really good song.
Yep.
And I had never heard it before.
I'm going to also throw in that I was happy that we listened to Enter the Chamber. No, 36 Chambers. Enter the Wu-Tang.
Wait, did you pick one already?
I did, yeah.
What'd you pick?
I did Tragically Hip.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Back from the 36 Chambers!
There was some good stuff on that. I mean, I think overall the album was, because there's some bad stuff on it. But
yeah, there's a lot of filler.
Yeah,
there's even
exactly.
A lot of, like, too much talking.
Yeah. Too many skits.
Yeah. Sketches?
Sketches. I think that's what it is. Skits or sketches?
Not skets.
No.
Not scat either. That's a difference.
No, yeah, there was not any scat.
But there might be some scatting.
Maybe.
Like,
Yeah.
Keep
it like
from
a
the
Rush.
36 Chambers.
Keep it like a Rushmore. Episode 31.
I'd never seen that movie before.
No.
So if you liked these categories,
or if you wanted to hear us talk about some of those stuff that we just mentioned,
go back to the back catalog.
Yeah, exactly.
It's all waiting there for you. But what I was going to say, if you like these categories, we're about to do them again.
Oh, okay.
Movie style.
Shut the door.
And then God opens the window.
Yep. He does.
Gary,
yep.
we got to take a break.
I have to take a break.
We got to take a break.
Yep.
And we will be back at you.
The 80s in 30 seconds from now. And they'll be celebrating in Times Square. We'll be celebrating at the Coconut Grove in California. And in just 15 seconds from now, it'll be 1990. Here we go. The leap second will be accounted for in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year! He made it. He's on top of the world. There's a guy without a shirt on, if you can believe that.
Welcome to my SoCal podcast.
And welcome to 1990.
Oh, that's right. We've gone back. We're revisiting our... I hope everybody enjoyed the break.
I did.
Yes. We were revisiting the albums that we discussed on the podcast.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, and we did some trivia.
Yeah, we did. Good times.
We held hands.
That wasn't my hand.
Oh, snap. You know what I was thinking of?
Yeah. I don't. No,
I probably watched that Dick Clark's Rockin' Eve.
Oh, you think?
1990 at my house.
In 89?
And I was 11
You were
then.
watching it in 89.
Right.
But then it became 90.
And I was still watching it.
Oh, okay.
See you next year, Gary.
That's right.
But I was 11.
Yep.
Which is the age of my current eldest son.
I would have been, right. Yeah, that's right. He's not going into a new decade, though.
Not for a little bit.
Right. So
2 years.
2 years. That's right. We're in 2018. So, we're going to start talking about
Good point.
Yep. So 2 years.
But that's not what we talk about on the show. We talk about the 90s.
That's right. So we gonna start the conversation on movies. I'm gonna give Eric an either or.
Oh,
So
either or. It's the part of the show where we ask a question. Either or. Gary never does it right.
that's right. And I still won't. Eric, either you would put the 90s up there with some of the great decades of movie making, like the 70s,
And
or it shouldn't even be included in the discussion of, like, what are some great decades of movies?
good question. Great question.
Well, I mean, that's not what I'm trying to say, though. I'm just kidding.
Either this is a great question,
Yeah.
or it's a mediocre
Right.
question. I think it's hard to say because obviously this is the decade where I came of age
Yeah.
and watched, grown-up cinema,
Right.
film as a grown-up adult for the first time, and discovered indie filmmaking. Now, I won't say I discovered filmmaking. I mean, I was into, movies going back to the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s from pretty early age. I was into, Scorsese and Hitchcock and Frank Capra, and I was into movies from many different decades. So I think it's
Right.
a fair question.
Right.
But it's hard to separate your own emotions. But I do think the 90s is a far better decade for movies than the 80s.
80s, yes. That's where I was at also.
Is a stinkeroo
Yes, it
decade.
is. Yeah.
Like, there's
There's a-
great movies,
A handful of...
but it doesn't come close to the majesty of the 90s.
Right. I think I'm on the same page with you. I think I would put maybe the 70s as, I mean, I guess you got some earlier 50s and 40s. There are definitely some great stuff, but
It's just different. I mean,
yeah.
People, you're talking about American cinema.
Excuse me.
People in the
Yeah.
30s, 40s, 50s that had great movies were working well within the confines of the studio system.
Yeah. Yeah.
And doing great stuff at times, although I would say Hitchcock's better stuff's in the 60s. He was still a studio bankable.
He was still doing good stuff in the 50s, though, because
He did good stuff in the 50s, but Vertigo and Psycho and...
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think Vertigo's in the 60s.
I don't know about that.
No,
Psycho
Psycho
was,
is.
yes.
And then he sort of tanked out in the 70s and 80s.
I guess, yeah. Yeah.
He was doing movies for a long time.
Well, he was doing the TV shows there.
Is this a Hitchcock podcast?
This is, we should start a Hitchcock. We could do a Hitchcock podcast.
Yes. Well, that would be a good podcast.
Yeah.
It'd be better than this crap.
That'd be something I'd listen to.
I'm sure there's no Hitchcock podcast.
Well, I don't know. So,
Anyway,
what? So, that was
So the point I was trying to make is the 70s was unique in that, the inmates were running the prison as
Vertigo
it were.
was 58.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, way ahead of his time.
Right.
One of the greatest movies ever made.
Vertigo is, yes. And so
Yeah.
that's our, yep. Yep.
Anyhow, 90s has a lot of great movies.
Okay. So, yeah, we talked about it. I gave you
We've
an
talked
either
about
or.
a lot of them.
Yes, we have.
So I think it's right up there. It was a nice rebound from the 80s.
Yes, it was.
And I would say
They
that
did Birds in 63. Psycho was 60.
the Birds, yeah.
Marnie,
like a technical
Torn
achievement.
Curtain. Yeah, no, he hit his high point in the 50s.
We would say late 50s, early 60s.
Because
I like Torn... Well, I like... North
Rear
by Northwest.
Window was 54.
Rear Window's my favorite.
Dial In for Murder was 54.
That's okay. North by Northwest. That's in the 50s.
No, actually, let's see. Was it? It had to be, right? I'm not seeing 59. North by Northwest 59.
Yeah, so the 50s.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
He did Vertigo one year, North by Northwest the next year,
Yep.
and then Psycho
And then
the
Psycho
next year.
in 60. Yep.
Wow.
That's
wow.
wow.
Yeah, he's an amazing talent. I like To Catch a Thief too. That's
Yeah,
a nice
that was
jaunty movie.
that was 55. I like that.
So
one also.
yeah, the
Yep.
50s.
Yep.
He was the one bright light in the 50s,
Yeah,
other than like the giant ant movies or like
the robot
your, your
monkeys.
sister is a monkey.
Yeah.
Or, yeah.
or the alien space invasions.
That's what they call a B feature, Billy. Oh, really? Yeah, Billy. Enjoy the show. Thanks, mister. Who was that masked man? It's me, the Lone Ranger. I can't get any work anywhere else. That's making me sad.
Go on.
What? That was the Lone Ranger and Billy. They just stopped
they
in.
stopped by.
See you later, guys. Bye.
Love the Foley work.
That was them leaving. I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know what I'm talking about either.
Billy has some big shoes.
He's got some big shoes to fill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, now we have to talk, and Billy's not here
Exactly.
anymore. This podcast is weird.
Boo.
But, so that was Either Or.
Yep, that was Either Or.
So this podcast sometimes introduced us to some movies.
Yes, it did. Yes,
and
it
sometimes it reintroduced us to some stinkeroos. And sometimes we disagreed. Those are the three categories we're going to
did.
visit.
Are we going to do that in opposite order this time?
No.
okay.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
So we're going to do What Did I Get Wrong?
Okay, you want me to tell you what you got wrong?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna go with English Patient is what you got wrong.
Because I like it.
You like it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. You really like that movie, and I hate to be Julia Louis-Dreyfus, but no, it was kind of boring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that is not a unique opinion you've got there,
No,
so
I
maybe
know.
you're right.
Yeah.
But that it's not good, maybe you're right. But you can't tell me that I'm wrong for liking it. I'm not telling you that you're wrong for not liking it.
But you're gonna tell me I'm wrong for not liking a movie.
Or liking a movie.
Well, right. Exactly.
Somehow it hurts more when you tell somebody they're wrong for liking something.
Okay.
I don't know. But Kristen Scott Thomas is very fetching in it.
Yeah.
She has really cute
Yeah,
outfits.
you explained. You did a convincing.
Ray
argument.
Fiennes really good in it. Willem Dafoe is creepy best. Colin Firth does
William Dafoe.
the murderous cuckold.
Yes. Yep. Yeah.
That's not a part. That's not what he usually plays. The murderous cuckold.
Well,
He might be doing the cuckolding.
I
if
think
you
he
know
got
what
a little
I mean,
typecast.
as the murderous cuckold.
Yep.
As the king who can't talk.
That's right.
As the suicidal gay designer.
Yep. All the same part.
Typecast.
Typecast.
I like that guy.
Colin Firth.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's good. He's a good actor.
I also enjoy Colin Farrell these days.
Okay.
Making some interesting choices.
Well, I like Colin Quinn.
Oh, yeah? I like Colin Blow.
I like Colin Powell. No, I don't.
Well, he looks pretty good these days.
Yeah, that's true.
Politics.
Politics.
Politics. Where the capital steps. Colin Powell is a powerful Colin.
I don't know why.
I don't know what they do.
No.
Gary, you got a movie wrong. Dead wrong.
Oh, is it dead again?
No,
Oh, okay.
That's not canon.
No, it's not.
I don't even remember what you thought of it.
I think I originally liked it a lot more than I did when we rewatched it.
Yeah, that's tracks.
Yeah.
Well, the runner-up for what you got wrong is that you totally didn't appreciate Rennie Harlan's masterpiece, Die Hard 2, as much as I did.
No, that's true.
I was like, this is an underappreciated gem.
Yes, yep.
I think I was just really in the mood to watch Die Hard.
Yep.
And I'd watched Die Hard so many times. Watching Die Hard 2 was a nice treat.
Yeah,
And I was
mean,
surprised. I was expecting it to be bad.
I
And you were like, meh. Meh.
I still contend that there's a lot of rehashing done on Die Hard 2.
I feel like that's what people used to do with sequels.
Yeah.
It was like, let's do the same stuff again. But I felt that I didn't. I thought
Yeah.
that they did a nice job,
Yeah.
and I thought you were wrong about that, but not as wrong
Okay.
as you were when you gave a lukewarm review to Nobody's Fool,
Oh,
which
yeah,
is
yeah.
a pure cinematic gem. It's a diamond in the rough. It's smart comfort food.
Yeah, I
It's
will.
got Paul Newman in there.
I will recommend that movie because of Paul Newman's performance.
He
He carries the whole
yeah.
movie.
See,
And
you're wrong about
Yeah.
Nobody's
Yeah.
Fool. Great screenplay, good character actors, different than other movies.
Yeah.
Adults. It's a movie about adults interacting with adults.
well, there's some kids in there, and I think that was part of the problem.
Damn it, whacker.
Exactly.
No problem. There's no problems. There's Nobody's Fool,
Nobody's
which
Fool.
you were wrong about, Gary.
Well, yeah.
Great movie.
All right.
I just sat there with a big dumb smile on my face the
While
whole
watching
movie.
it?
Yeah. And then you made me cry, Gary.
I didn't make you cry.
All right, Gary. Sometimes
Yep.
we watch a movie that we've seen before. You know?
Yes.
We're like, I remember this movie.
Is that what we were like?
And then we watch it and we're like, oh, God.
Oh, right.
Is that what this movie was?
Yes.
Wow. What's wrong with me?
Yeah.
I don't think I should be on a podcast at all. What an idiot I was.
Yeah. Yep. That's
what this category is called.
What an idiot I was.
No, it's that whole thing I just said.
Oh, it's a long category.
Can you imagine the Oscars envelope that had
or-
all that written on it? And you open it up and you're like, La La Land!
Oh, wait, no.
Wait.
Moonlight.
Moonlight.
That was, I can still say that. Like, they announced La La Land, and I was like, okay, click, and I turned it off.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And the people that did that were missing out on the most bonkers thing that
That's
ever
what
happened.
I woke up the
was
next
just
morning.
like, what is happening?
And I woke up the next morning, I was like, what happened?
Because the La La Land people were talking, and all of a sudden, like, guys with headphones came running up behind and, like, whispering into the other La La Land people's ears.
Oh, yeah.
And giving them envelopes to prove that Moonlight won.
Right.
And then, like, I think it was Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone kind of had to get Damien Chazelle and be like,
Oh, right. Yeah.
and then he graciously
That was
explained,
yeah.
which, I mean, you can be pretty gracious if you're holding the Best Director Oscar
That's
in your
true.
left
Yeah,
hand.
exactly.
But, oh, my so-called Oscars. Anyway, so this category is not Best Picture.
No.
It's so you're watching a movie that
Yep.
you used to like, and you're like, what? And then you're like, I was an idiot. And I'm like, you were young. It's fine. What do we know?
For 200. There's a Jeopardy category now. That's what I'm making it be.
I'm going to take, we were young. What do we know? I was an idiot, Alex.
For
200.
200.
Ooh, it's the Daily Devil. What do you got, Gary?
I was going to go with, we talked about this movie back in episode 49. Actually, Eric, you should go first. I went first on,
Oh.
yeah, so you tell what first. I'll go first.
Okay. Well, I wouldn't say I loved it,
Okay.
but I didn't disagree. I didn't think it was bad. I went to see it in the theater with my friend Sarah, and we were like, that was pretty good. That movie was Congo.
Oh, really?
Which
Oh,
is
yeah.
real bad.
That's real bad, yeah.
I really liked Beautiful Girls back in the day for the Natalie Portman performance, etc. That's not that good anymore.
Yeah, you're right. I get on board with that one.
The Crow.
I have The Crow.
It was cool.
Crow was.
It's not cool. It's not very good.
It's not.
But and
there's so
this,
much atmosphere for The Crow, and I think that really talked to teenage us.
Well, and it's just I think the soundtrack.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, The Crow's not that good of a movie.
The images in the movie are good for the soundtrack videos.
Yep. Yeah. Right.
And this may be surprising to you based on my rating, which I think maybe I gave it 2.5 or 3 stars. But really thinking about it, that movie Pleasantville is pretty embarrassing.
Oh, right. Yeah. I think we did give Pleasantville a good review.
I think I ended up giving it a kind of a good review for like an E for effort. But really thinking about it, it's like, ugh,
right.
What the hell?
Right.
They're in black and white. They become color because they have sex.
Exactly.
The tree catches fire, and it's about race relations. But there's not very many black people in the movie, and it's not good.
It goes off the rails towards the end because they didn't know what to do with.
Right, and it was a special effect in search of a plot.
Yeah, exactly. And does he end up living in the TV? Right.
I think so, and Reese Witherspoon leaves.
Right.
I mean, I think the wool got pulled over my eyes because I was like, Tobey Maguire's in good movies, and Reese Witherspoon's in good movies, and Jeff Daniels sure is acting his heart out, and Joan Allen's in it, and William H. Macy.
Yep. Yeah,
so it has to
cast.
be good.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's really good black and white cinematography, but really just stepping back, squinting at it, looking at it from 30,000 feet, it's a piece of crap.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think you're right there. Okay, so I had The Crow on my as one of the ones that I was probably more embarrassed about.
I don't begrudge my younger self The Crow.
No, yeah.
It's fine, youngin'.
Fine. Yeah.
You like that kind of stuff.
I'm going to go with, though we talked about this one in episode 49, I think Mission Impossible.
Oh, yeah.
It's one that I remember really liking, but then rewatching, it's like, what is this about?
Yeah.
What is this even? What?
It's about Brian De Palma trying to make a paycheck.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it being De Palma...
It's about 90 minutes long.
I like The Untouchable. Exactly.
Oh, De Palma's way hit or miss.
Yeah.
Did you watch that documentary?
I haven't yet, no.
It's not a hagiography because he admits to a lot of mistakes, but it's him telling his life story.
Right.
It's just him talking and clips of his movies.
But was it Alexander Payne? No, who directed that, though?
I don't know.
It's somebody like that.
Well, they didn't do much with it.
Right.
I feel like De Palma, you could tell some stories about that guy. He's a wild card, but he really doesn't spill the beans or anything.
Oh, no.
And, I mean, he has some interesting things to say, but, it's like a director's commentary, essentially. Like a mashup of the movies.
Yeah.
He sees his life through rosy-colored glasses, though. Even the Bonfire of the Vanities, he's like, the studio made me make it bad.
Oh, sure.
But The Untouchables, I'd like to watch a movie about the making of that.
Noah Baumbach.
He made De Palma?
Yeah, he directed.
So he turned on a camera
Yep.
and talked to Brian De Palma for a long time.
Yeah.
And cut a bunch of his movies into it. I'm not saying... I mean, I like that kind of a thing. But it is what it is.
Right.
And this has been my so-called De Palma.
Yeah, exactly. That would be the podcast to do after we do the Hitchcock podcast.
Oh, yeah. Or you could pair a De Palma with a Hitchcock every week.
Yep.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Oh, man. The podcast ideas are rolling tonight, baby.
Luckily, we don't have to worry about anybody stealing these ideas.
Because no one listens to the show. Yeah, we could just, do the secret recipe for Coke and KFC.
Exactly.
And the directions to out of Fort Knox and into Fort Knox.
Into Fort Knox. We can talk about what's at Roswell.
Yeah.
We have Area 51. We've been there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did a whole episode from Area 51.
Exactly.
It's not as exciting as you'd think. The aliens are kind of weird looking.
They're all right. Yeah.
Yeah. But, I mean, they speak English, and that's sort of like a letdown. So do people speak English. Big deal.
It was, yeah.
It's a good thing Brent Spiner wasn't there.
It's a good thing they crashed in America, though. Because if they crashed anywhere else in, like, France, they wouldn't be understood.
They would just be the Coneheads.
Oh, right. We're from France.
Sometimes, Gary, the podcast turns us on to a movie.
Oh, yep.
Something we haven't seen before.
Yes.
And it really just puts a spring in our step.
Yes, it does.
It's like, wow, an undiscovered gem. A real gem of a film.
So, yes, that's
that you
what
had
your
never seen
category is. Not a gem. So I chose a movie that I'm happy. I guess I'm happy I saw it.
Mm-hmm.
Whether I'm going to call it a gem of a movie or not,
it's something that you had not seen before.
It's right. It's not. It's something I hadn't seen before, and I'm glad we watched it. How good of a movie is it? I don't know. But
okay.
Yeah.
Go for it.
I'm happy I saw it. Episode 65, previously discussed, Marilyn Manson Smells Like Children. The movie we talked about, Stuart Gordon's Castle Freak.
Oh, you're really happy you got to watch Castle Freak?
You know, I'm glad I can say I saw Castle Freak.
As a Stu from the Flophouse fanatic, you wanted to be a completist.
Yeah.
I did that by watching Phantasm as well, which I'd never seen because, you know, he's recommended it a bunch.
Right, yep, he has.
Have
you seen Head of the Class?
No.
Or Head of the Family?
Nor have I seen The Invisible
Pervert
Maniac. Yeah, I've never seen that. There's also, like, Granny, which is like a killer grandma movie that he recommends.
I haven't seen that one.
Anyway, so yeah, Castle Freak. So why are you happy you saw Castle Freak?
I think it's just it was a pretty crazy movie.
Yeah.
I mean, he rips off
his own ding dong.
You know, so there's that. It's also it's a shame. I mean, it's not really. It's kind of a smarter horror film, but then at the same time, it's kind of dumb. You know, I guess.
Well, you're really
I'm all over the place. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I enjoyed it because it was so crazy.
Yeah.
But
I like to watch movies like that, though. Yeah. Like they're not necessarily good, but they take you to a different head space. For sure. But I like your strange horror movies.
Yeah.
Strange thrillers, things like that. So, Gary, mine is a movie I had never seen but was very familiar with from the Oscars.
Oh.
There was a year, I think the year was 1996, the year of Fargo, our friend Fargo.
Yep.
Where this is back when it meant something to be nominated for Best Picture. There was only 5 noms for Best Picture. So, and that year, one of those nominees, which I never saw until the podcast, was Mike Leigh's Secrets and Lies.
Oh, yeah. I had also not seen that before.
And I was blown away by that movie.
That's a really good movie.
That it was sweet. I thought it was smart. I thought Timothy Spall was amazing. Marianne Jean-Baptiste was amazing. Brenda Blethyn was a mess, but wonderful.
Yeah. It's a really it's just such like a slice of life. These people are experiencing these.
Well, things. Yeah, it's a very dramatic situation they're going through. But it's sort of more like how it would play out in real life than you know, a soap opera or whatnot. And it's constantly surprising, I think. Like the things that happen, with the way that people react, you wouldn't think it's going to go there, but it goes somewhere like more human, and it's funny.
Yep,
it's a good story.
Yep.
I just really loved it, and I was very happy that we revisited that movie that I had never visited in the first place.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was back in episode 18, if you want to re-listen to us talk about Secret and Lies.
Yeah, and then go watch Secrets and Lies.
You know what? Good. It was kind of hard to find, though. Do you remember that?
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, it's not like, for being an Oscar-nominated movie, it was not it's not. I don't think at that time because this was back in 2014. So this was 3 years ago, end of 2014. It wasn't on Amazon or we couldn't even rent it.
Well,
on
if it pops up in your feed, Amazon or Hulu or Netflix,
check it out.
Highly recommend. I said recommend.
Oh, recommend. That's clever.
It's
That's
part
clever.
of our podcast.
Eric, you're a clever guy.
4 stars. Recommend.
Yeah, there you go. That's our new
So we
rating
did
system.
it, Gary.
Yeah, we did it. We did it. 100.
I couldn't have done it without you.
Well, that's because it's just I brought the computer.
The computer, yeah. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I could have done it without you, but it wouldn't have been recorded.
Right.
I would have been just talking to a dead mic.
Which I think sometimes you may still do, right?
Yeah, well, it's practicing.
Oh, okay.
You know.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, practicing. Sure.
But thank you all for listening to 100 episodes, which I'm sure you've all listened to all 100. Gary just listens to the Whip Cop episode over and over again. That's all he
love
does.
it. Can't get enough of it.
You can find the podcast online, on Twitter, on Facebook.
Yep.
You can find Gary on Twitter. You can find me on Twitter. You can
Yeah.
email the podcast.
At mysocalledpodcast@gmail.com.
That's right. And so, we're all on all the social medias. You can find us on the web. We love you. Who loves you, baby?
Yeah, thanks for listening to 100 episodes. Eric, thanks for doing 100 episodes.
Thanks. Thank you, Gary.
Yeah.
I've kept you in glasses of water.
Yes.
And I've offered you other things which you've declined
Yeah,
a lot of the time.
Yeah, I'm not going to accept that. I will not accept what you offer.
And we'll get back to our regular format, maybe with a guest.
Maybe.
In 2 weeks' time. But that's been 100 episodes,
100
folks.
episodes, wow.
Woo!
Yeah. That's, you know what? I don't think I've ever done anything 100 times.
That's what she said.
Yeah.